Megan Dykes, and I'm here with Mr. George Wolford, Chairman of the Casey County Apple Festival. This year, Casey County Apple Festival will celebrate 30 years. Mr. Wolford, when and how did the Apple Festival first begin?
Well, it began in 1975. We had, we had been taught that apples were good in this area, and everybody that got interested in apples, when I was one of them, we started planting apple trees, and we planted a lot of them. In fact, we planted too many because we didn't have a market for them.
When did Apple Festival?
The first Apple Festival was in 1975, and it was, like I said, we hadn't done all of our homework as far as getting a market. We got the apples before the market, and we had a pretty rough time with it for a few years. And the Apple Festival was, we thought, one way to get a better sale on our apples, and so that's how it came about.
Well, 30 years is definitely an accomplishment to be proud of, and I'm sure many things have changed. So since the beginning of the Apple Festival, how have things changed?
Well, one thing that's really changed is the crowds we have. Because we started out in 1975, and the festival was over along the bypass, and that's before all those stores were over there. And that was in 1975, and we had large crowds that we thought that year. But then we moved out here to the school and had the festival right out on the front lawn out here for 3 years. And our crowds grew every year, and they're still growing.
Being such a small community, how does our community fund the Apple Festival?
Well, we fund it by selling booths at in the Apple Festival, and we've been able to, to have the festival to grow because of that. We've been doing a lot of different things as far as the festival is concerned, and of course it has grown now to where we have thousands of people here, and that wasn't true in the first festival because it was hands full then as compared to now. But it is something that's just been growing like anything would grow. I mean, we have people now coming here from a lot of different states, and it just seems like we have a bigger crowd every year.
Many people look forward to the Apple Festival, especially Casey Countyans. Describe what the Apple Festival means to this community.
Well, I think any type of event that brings a community together is great. I was so glad when they got the fair started, the fairground down here, and anything of that nature is a help to the community. It's as if we're growing, and the younger generation comes on, and that's what I hope will happen to the Apple Festival, because I'm getting old, and I've been with it ever since it started. This, like I said, this has since 1975, and that's a long time down the road.
Many people believe the Apple Festival to be the best of the best. Do you agree?
The best, what do you mean?
The best, like the best festival of anywhere.
Well, I've been to festivals in a lot of places. Ours is, I don't remember being at too many festivals, and several years ago, Mr. Murphy, Marion, and I took this event to a lot of different places up in Indiana, and one time we went down into Ruston, Louisiana to cook a pizza. And places like that, a lot of different places in Kentucky. And this event has grown. I mean, it's basically the same as the first time we did it, but it attracts a lot of attention because it's different.
Yeah.
You don't often see a 10-foot pie.
As always, Apple Festival begins in September, and since September has come, Apple Festival is quickly approaching. Exactly when does Apple Festival begin, and can we expect any new events or attractions?
In 1975 was the first year, and we have grown down through the years until this year that it's basically the same. We have maybe in our music department we have changes, but as far as cooking the pie and cooking the pizza, and this year we're not going to have the big sub. I mean, we've been having it up until this year, but this year we won't have that. But we will have the pie, and we'll have the pizza, and that's that's 2 events, and cookie. We'll have the cookie again this year. So it's basically it's been the same for a long time now.
Safety of everyone is an issue, and with the threat of terrorism in our country and increased security, what efforts will the local police department be taking to ensure safety?
Well, of course, there will be quite a few men, more in the lineup of the police. They have extras that come in, and I just hope and pray that some idiot won't try to do something, to get his name in the paper or something like that. But it could happen, and we've been fortunate down through the years that nothing serious like that has happened, but it is a worry.
Yeah.
And I don't know really anything that you can do to prevent something like that, because if somebody wants to kill somebody by, a crazy act of an explosion, I mean, they can do that so discreetly that they could come into a crowd with enough stuff around them to blow up 10, 15, 20 people, and you'd never know it, never know they had it on them. So it's a worry to me every Apple Festival, because we've been lucky down through the years that nothing of that radical nature has happened. But I always keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah. You, as well as others on the Apple Festival committee, spend a lot of time on planning of Apple Festival. Does it ever become too overwhelming?
Well, it is a lot of work. I mean, we have a dedicated group and nobody gets paid for anything. A lot of people, they seem to think that we get paid. We don't get paid 1 red cent, and we don't want pay. Everybody that works in this Apple Festival works for gratis. Nobody gets any pay whatsoever out of it. They do it because they love to do it, and that's how you can have an event that lasts 25 years. Because we've had events in the county, and nothing ever lasted over 2 to 3 years. That is, events of this nature. And here we are, this far down the road, and goodness, I hope we just keep on going.
How could local residents go about becoming a member of the Apple Festival committee?
Well, we don't have any if someone wants to come and help, we don't have any classification or we don't do any election or anything like that. It takes a lot of people. Of course, we do have a board, an operating board, and we have meetings every month and sometimes more than once a month. But if somebody wants to work and they're willing to do anything that we have to do, while we're open to get help. I mean, we're not overcrowded with help, that's for sure. And we don't, like I said, we don't draw any pay. Nobody that works in the Apple Festival draws 1 red cent for their work. It's gratis. And we do it because we love to do it, and we don't expect any pay, so nobody gets any pay. I know as rumors go around about how many of us, all the money we take in, we divide it. You hear all kinds of things like that, but it's all not untrue. There's not a single one in our group that draws 1 red cent out of the Apple Festival for their work. We do it for free, and we love to do it, and that's the way it's always been. Nobody has ever gotten paid a dime, and there's rumors go around that how much money we're being paid, but that's all untrue. There's not a word of truth in that, because nobody has ever been paid. We do pay musicians that come in is about the only people that we pay. We do pay musicians, but they're not. That's just one part of it. If it's somebody in the festival that's a musician, they don't get paid either. So that's the way it is, contrary to what a lot of people would tell you, that we're getting rich out of it, because that's not so.
Is there anything else that you would like people to know about the Apple Festival?
Well, it's to me, since I've been into it from the very beginning, I have been, just really blessed to think that it does attract so much attention, and it brings so many people here, and even that is a distraction for some, because some say, well, here comes the Apple Festival, the crowd, be so many people here, we can't walk and all that, but still, a lot of these people come from way up many miles here just to see the Apple Festival. And that's what is gratifying to me, to think that I've had a small part in doing a festival that has lasted this long, because nothing, since I've lived in Liberty, and that's been a long time, nothing has lasted, no kind of an event like that has lasted as long as this has lasted. And I hope it keeps on going.
Well, thank you for joining us, and we all look forward to Apple Festival. And I see that you have a calendar of events which can be picked up with your Casey County News. And again, thank you. And I'm Megan Dykes with WREB TV.
I thank you.
The Apple Festival's main attraction is the apple pie. Here are a few images from apple pie from years past. Remember to come out and attend this year's Casey County Apple Festival and enjoy the world's largest apple pie.